So very beginning we have a blackout, and then we have Joey coming out, and then he comes down, and we start this. Shadow comes up. Shadow behind. Comes up with Ariel behind. Joey's got the boat in his hand. Ready up thunder. And thunder. And it comes up. Yep, pull it up. Tie it on. And goes to the uphill line. Close it!
Yeah, master, what cheer?
Good, speak to the mariners. Fall to it, Garrison, we run ourselves aground. Bestir! Bestir!
Hey, good hearts. Cheerly, my hearts. Taking the topsail, tank to the master's whistle. Low to low, first line window, broken out.
We're frozen out there. Where's the master? Play the men.
Pray now, keep below.
Where is the master bosun?
You not hear him, you mar our labor. Keep your cabin, do assist the storm.
Nay, good. Be patient.
When the sea is hence, what cares these roars in the name of king? To cabin, silence, kill us not.
Good. Yet remember whom thou hast aboard.
None that I more love than myself. You are a counselor. If you cannot command these elements to silence and work the peace of the present, you will not hand the rope more. Use your authority. If you cannot give thanks, you have lived so long, and make yourself ready in your cabin for the mischance of the hour, if it so hath. Cheerily, good hearts, out of our way, I say.
I have great comfort from this fellow. Methinks he hath no drowning mark upon him. Stand fast, good fate, to his hanging. Make the rope of his destiny our cable for our own thoughtful advantage. If we not be born to be hanged, our case is miserable.
Down with the top mast! Lower! Bring the trout of the main course! A plague upon this howling. They are louder than the weather or our office. Yet again, what do you here? Shall we give over and drown? Have you a mind to sink?
Pox on your throat, you bawling, blasphemous and charitable dog!
Mark you then.
Hang, cur! Hang, you horse and insolent noisemaker! We are less afeard to be drowned than thou art.
I warrant him for drowning, though the shipper no stronger than a nutshell and his leak is an unstanched wrench.
Lay her a hold. Set her 2 courses off to sea again. Lay her off.
On the lines, go.
Lay her a hold. Set her 2 courses off to sea again. Lay her a hold.
What? Must our mouths be cold?
Must our mouths be cold?
Natala, the king and prince.
The king and prince at prayers. Let's assist them, for our cases is theirs.
I'm out of patience. We're merely cheated of our lives by drunkards. This wide-shot rascal without night's fly, drowning the washing of 10 tides.
I warned him for drowning, though every drop of water swore against it and gave it wits to glut him. Now I give 1,000 furlongs of sea for a barren of acre ground. Long heath, brown furs, anything. The will's above be done. I'd fain die a dry death.
If by your art, my dearest father, you have put the wild waters in this roar, allay them. The sky, it seems, would pour out stinking pitch, but the sea, mounting to the welkin's cheek, dashes the fire out. Oh, I have suffered with those that I saw suffer. A brave vessel who had no doubt some noble creature in her, dashed all to pieces. Poor souls, they perished. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth, or ere it should the good ship so have swallowed, and the frotting souls within her.
Be collected. No more amazement. Tell your piteous heart there's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day!
No harm. I've done nothing but in care of thee. Of thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing of whence I am, nor that I'm more better than Prospero, master of a full poor cell and thy no greater father.
More to know did never meddle with my thoughts.
Tis time I should inform thee farther. Lend thy hand and pluck my magic garment from thee. Have comfort. The direful spectacle of the rack that touched the very virtue and compassion in thee I have with such provision in mine art, so safely ordered that there is no soul, no, not so much perdition as an hair beaten to any creature on the vessel, which thou heardst cry, which thou saw'st sink. Sit down, for thou must now no farther.
You have often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped and left me to a bootless inquisition, concluding stay. Not yet.
The hour's now come. The very minute bids thee ope thine ear. Obey, and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came unto this cell? I do not think thou canst, for then thou wast not out 3 years old.
Certainly, sir, I can.
By what? By any other house or person? Of anything the image that hath kept with thy remembrance, tell me.
'Tis far off and rather like a dream than an assurance that my remembrance warrants. Had I not 4 or 5 women once that tended me?
Thou hast. And more, Miranda. But how is it that this lives in thy mind? What seest thou else in the dark backward in abysm of time? If thou rememberest aught ere thou camest here, how thou camest here thou mayst.
But that I do not.
12 years since, Miranda. 12 years since. Thy father was the Duke of Milan and a prince of power.
Sir, are not you my father?
Thy mother was a piece of virtue, and she said thou wast my daughter. Thy father was Duke of Milan, and his only heir and princess no worse issued.
Oh, the heavens! What foul play that we came from thence, but blessed was it that we did.
Both. Both, my girl. By foul play, as thou sayest, were we heaved thence, but blessedly hope hither.
Mine.
Oh, my heart.
Oh, my heart bleeds to think of the team that I have turned you to, which is from my remembrance. Please you, farther.
My brother and thy uncle, I pray thee, mark me, that a brother should be so perfidious. He whom next thyself of all the world I loved, and to him put the manage of my state, at that time through all the signors it was the first, and Prospero the prime duke, being so reputed in dignity and for the liberal arts without a parallel. Those being all my study, the government I cast upon my brother, and to my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. Thy false uncle, dost thou attend me?
Sir, most heedfully.
Being once perfected how to grant suits, how to deny them, who to advance, who to trash for overtopping, newly created the creatures that were mine, I say, or changed them, or else new formed them. Having both key to officer and office, set all the hearts in the state to what tune pleased his ear. For now he was the ivy which had hid my princely trunk and sucked my verdure out on it. Thou attends not.
Oh, good sir, I do.
I pray thee, mark me. I thus neglecting worldly ends, all dedicated to the closeness and bettering of my mind with that which, but by being so retired, overprized all popular rate. And my false brother awakened an evil nature, and my trust, like a good parent, did beget of him a falsehood in its contrary, as great as my trust was, which had indeed no limit, a confidence sans bound. He being thus lorded, not only to what my revenue yielded, but to what my power might else exact. Line. Like one who, having into truth by telling of it, made such a sinner of his memory to credit his own lie. he did believe he was indeed the Duke. Out of the substitution in executing the outward face of royalty with all prerogative. Hence his ambition growing. Dost thou hear me?
Your tale, sir, would cure deafness.
Line.
To have no screen.
To have no screen between this part he played it for. To have no screen between this part he played and him he played it for. He needs will be absolute Milan. Me, poor man, my library was dukedom not large enough. Of temporal royalties he thinks me now incapable. Confederate so dry he was for sway, with the King of Naples to do him annual tribute, give him homage, subject his coronet to his crown, and bend the dukedom yet unbowed. Alas! Poor Milan! To most ignoble stooping.
Oh, the heavens.
Mark the condition in the event. Then tell me if this might be a brother.
I should sin to think but nobly of my grandmother. Good wombs have borne bad sons.
Now the condition. This King of Naples, an enemy to me inveterate, hearkens my brother's suit, which was that he, in low the premises of homage, and I know not how much tribute, should extirpate me and mine out of Milan, with all the honors on my brother, whereon a treacherous army levied, and one midnight, fated to the purpose, did Antonio open the gates of Milan. And in the dead of darkness, the ministers for the purpose hurried thence, me and thy crying self.
Alack, for pity. I not remembering how I cried out, then will cry o'er again. It is a hint that rings mine eyes to it.
Here a little further, and then I'll bring thee to the line.
Present business.
I'll bring thee to the present business which is now upon us, without the which this story were most impertinent.
Wherefore that hour did they not destroy us?
Well demanded, wench. Dear they durst not. So dear the love my people bore me, nor set a mark so bloody on the business, but with colours fairer painted their foul ends. In few they hurried us aboard a bark, bored us some leagues to sea, in a rotten carcass of a butt, not rigged, nor tackle, sail, nor mast, the very rats instinctively have quit it. There they hoist us to the sea, that cried to us, to sigh to the winds, whose pity sighing back did us but loving wrong.
Alack, what trouble was I then to you?
Thou wast a cherubim that did preserve me. Thou didst smile, infused with a fortitude from heaven. When I have decked the sea with drops full salt, under my burden groaned. Line, which raised in me an undergoing stomach to bear up against what should ensue.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine. Some food we had, and some fresh water, a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, out of his charity did give us, with rich garments, linens, stuffs, and necessaries that since have steadied much. Out of his kindness, knowing I loved my books, he furnished me with volumes from my library that I prize above my dukedom.
Would I might but ever see that man.
Now I arise. Hear the last of our sea sorrow. Here we have arrived, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more profit than other princes can, who have time for vainer hours and tutors not so careful.
The heavens thank you for it. And now I pray you, sir, for still 'tis beating in my mind, your reason for raising the sea storm.
No, thus far forth. By accident most strange, bountiful fortune, now my dear lady, hath mine enemies brought to this shore. And I find my prescience doth depend upon a line.
A most auspicious star,
Most auspicious star, whose influence, if now I court not but omit, my fortunes will ever after droop. Here, cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness. Give it way. I know thou canst not choose. Come away, my servant, come. I am ready now. Approach my Ariel, come!
All hail, great master. Grave sir, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds to thy strong bidding task, Ariel in all her quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article. I boarded the king's ship, now in the beak, now in the waist, the deck. In every cabin I flamed amazement. Sometimes I divide and burn in many places. On the topmast, the yards and bowsprit, when I flame distinctly, then meet and join. Jove's lightning, the precursors on the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary, in sight outrunning were not. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble, yea, his dread trident shake.
My brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant that the spoil could not affect his reason?
Not a soul, but felt a fever of the mad and played some tricks of desperation. All but mariners plunged in the foaming brine and quit the vessel, then all afire with me. The king's son, Ferdinand, with hair upstaring, then like reeds not hair, was the first man that leaped and cried, "Hell is empty, and all the devils are here."
Why, that's my spirit. Was not this nigh shore?
Close by, my master.
Are they, Ariel, safe?
Not a hair perished. On their sustaining garments, not a blemish, but fresher than before. And as thou badest me in troops, I have dispersed them about the isle. The king's son have I landed by himself, left him cooling of the air with sighs in an odd angle of the isle, and sitting, his arms in this sad knot.
Of the king's ship, the mariners say how thou hast disposed. And all the rest of the fleet?
Safely in harbor is the king's ship. In the deep nook where once thou callest me up at midnight to fetch dew from the still vets for moons, there she's hid. The mariners all under hatch stowed, lying,
Who with a charm.
who with a charm joined to their suffered labor, I have left asleep. And for the rest of the fleet, they all have met again, and are upon the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home for Naples, supposing that they saw the king's ship wrecked, and his great person perish.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed. But there's more work. What is the time of the day?
Past the mid-season.
At least 2 glasses. The time 'twixt 6, and now must by us both be spent most preciously.
Is there more toil? Since thou dost give me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed to me.
How now? Moody? What is it thou canst amend?
My liberty,
For the time be out no more.
I prithee, remember I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made no mistakings, served without grudge or grumblings. Thou did promise to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou dost. And thinkest it much to tread the ooze of the salt deep, to run on the sharp winds of the north, to do me business in the veins of the earth, when it is baked with frost?
I do not, sir.
Thou liest! Malignant thing! Hast thou forgot the foul witch Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgot her?
No, sir.
Thou hast! Where was she born? Speak, tell me.
Sir, in Argier.
Oh, was she so? I must once in a month recount what thou hast been, which thou forgettest. This damned witch, Sycorax, for mischiefs manifold and sorceries terrible to enter here, human hearing, thou knowest was banished. For one thing they did, they would not take her life, is not this true?
Aye, sir.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and here was left by the sailors. Thou, my slave, as thou reportest thyself, was then her servant, and thou wast a spirit too delicate to act out her earthy and abhorred commands. Refusing her grand hest, she did confine thee, by the help of her more potent ministers, and in her most unmitigable rage into a cloven pine, within which rift she imprisoned thou didst painfully remain a dozen years, which in with space she died and left thee there. thou didst vent thy groans as fast as will meal strike. Then was this island, save for the sun she did litter here, a freckled wild hag born, not honored with a human shape.
Yes, Caliban her son.
Don't think I say so. He that Caliban whom now I keep in service. Thou best knowest from what a torment I did find thee in. It was a torment to lay upon the damned, which Sycorax herself could not again undo. It was mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, that made gape the pine and let thee out.
I thank thee, master.
If thou more murmurest, I will rend an oak and peg thee in his naughty entrails till thou hast howled away 12 winters.
Pardon, master. I will be correspondent to command and do my spriting gently.
Do so. And after 2 days, I will discharge thee.
That's my noble master. What shall I do? Say what? What shall I do?
Go. Make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go, take this shape and hither come in it. Go hence, with diligence! Awake, dear heart. Awake, thou hast slept well. Awake.
The strangeness of your story put heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come on. We'll go visit Caliban, who never yields us kind answer.
'Tis a villain, sir, I do not love to look on.
But as 'tis, we cannot miss him. He does fetch in our wood. He does make our fire, fetch in our wood, and serves in line.
Serves in offices that profit.
Serves in offices that profit us. What ho! Slave Caliban, thou earth, thou speak!
There's wood enough within.
Line.
Come forth, I say.
Come forth, I say, there's other business for thee. Come, thou tortoise, when? Fine apparition, my quaint Ariel. Hark, Nanya.
My lord, it shall be done.
Thou poisonous slave, got by the devil himself upon thy wicked dam, come forth!
As wicked do as ever my mother brushed, with raven's feather from unwholesome fen drop on you both, a southwest blow on ye, and blister you all o'er.
For this be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramps. Side stitches shall pen thy breath up. Urchins, line, shall forth at vast of night and work all exercise on thee. Line, thou shalt be pinched as thick as honeycomb, each pinch more stinging than the bees that made them.
I must eat my dinner! This island is mine by Sycorax my mother, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me and made much of me, would give me water with berries in it, and would teach me how to name the bigger light, and the less that burned by day and night. And then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the isle, the fresh springs, brine pits, barren place and fertile behind it did so. All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, light on you, for I am all the subjects that you have, which first was mine old king. And here, you stymie in this hard rock, wanting to keep me from the rest of the island.
Thou most lying slave, whom stripes not kindness. Line, may move thee, I have used thee. Filled as thou art, with humane care, and lodged thee in mine own cell till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
Oh, wouldn't have been done. Thou didst prevent me. I had people else this isle with Calibans.
Abhorrent slave, which any print of goodness wilt not take, being capable of all ill. I pitied thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or other. When thou didst not, savage, know thine own thing, but wouldst gabble like a thing most brutish, I endowed thy purposes with words which made them known. Line.
But
But thy vile race, though thou didst learn, had that in it which good natures could not abide to be with. Therefore was thou deservedly confined into this rock, who has deserved more than a prison!
You taught me language, and my profit on it is, I know how to curse the red for letting me your language!
Hence! Go fetch us some fuel, and be quick. Thou art best to answer other business. Shruggest thou malice? If thou dost unwillingly or neglectest what I command, I'll wrap thee with old cramps, fill all thy bones with aches, make thee roar that beasts shall tremble at thy deed!
No! Pray thee! I must obey. His art is of such power, it will control my damned god Cerberus and make a vassal of him.
So, slave, hence!
Come unto these yellow sands, and then take hands. Curtsied when you have been kissed, the wild waves whist. Foot it feebly here and there, and sweet sprites there. The bird and hark, hark, the watchdogs bark. Hark, hark, I hear the sound of straining chant, a clear cry, cock-a-diddle-dow.
Where should this music be? In the air? Or the earth? It sounds no more, and sure it waits upon some god of the island. Sitting on a bank, weeping again the king, my father's wrack. This music crept by me upon the waters, allaying both their fury and my passion with its sweet air. And thence I followed it, or it hath drawn me rather, but 'tis gone. But no, it begins again.
Full fathom 5, thy father lies. Of his bones are coral made, those are pearls that are his eyes. Nothing of him that doth fade, but thoughts suffer us he change into something rich and strange. See nymphs hourly ring his knell. Hark, now I hear them, ding dong bell.
The ditty does remember my drowned father. This is no mortal business, nor no sound that the earth owes. I hear it now above me.
Frigid curtains of thine eye advance, and say what thou seest yond.
What is it? A spirit? Lord, how it looks about. Believe me, sir, it carries a brave form, but 'tis a spirit.
No, wench. It eats and sleeps, and hath such senses as we have such. This gallant which thou seest was in the rack, but he's something stained with grief, that's beauty's canker. One might as call him a goodly person. He has lost his fellows and strays about to find them.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw so noble.
Goes on, I see, as my soul prompts it. Spirit, fine spirit, I'll free thee within 2 days for this.
Most sure the goddess on whom these airs attend, vouchsafe my prayer. You may know if you remain upon this island, and that you will some good instruction give how I may bear me here. My prime request, which I do last pronounce, is Oh, you wonder if you be maid or no.
No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid.
My language, heavens! I am the best of them that speak this speech where I but where it is spoken.
How? The best? What wert thou if the King of Naples heard thee?
A single thing as I am now that wonders to hear thee speak of Naples. He does hear me, and that he does I weep. Myself am Naples, who with mine eyes never since at ebb beheld the king my father rack.
Alack for mercy.
Yes, faith and all his lords, the Duke of Milan and his brave son being twain.
The Duke of Milan and his more braver daughter could control thee. Now 'twere fit to do it. This first sight they have changed eyes. Delicate Ariel, I'll set thee free for this. A word! Good sir, I fear you have done yourself some wrong. A word.
Why speaks my father so ungently? This the third man that e'er I saw, the first that e'er I sighed for. Pity moved my father to be inclined my way.
Oh, if a virgin your affection not gone forth, I'll make you the Queen of Naples.
Soft, sir, one word more. They are both in either's powers. But this swift business I most uneasy make, lest too light winning make the prize light. One word more. I charge thee that thou attend me. I charge thee that thou attend me. Thou dost here usurp a name thou owest not, and was put on this island as a spy, to win it from me, the Lord on it.
No, as I am a man.
There's nothing ill that can dwell in such a temple. If the ill spirit hath so fair house, good things will strive to dwell with it.
Follow me. I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Sea water shalt thou drink. Thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels, and withered roots and husks where in the acorn cradled. Follow.
No, I will resist such entertainment till mine enemy has more power.
Oh, dear father, make not too rash a trial of him, for he's gentle and not fearful.
What? My foot, my tutor? Put thy sword up, traitor, for thou makest to show, but darest not strike. Thy conscience is so possessed with guilt. Come from thy ward, I can here disarm thee, and make thy weapon drop.
No, beseech you, father!
Hence! Hang not on my garments.
Sir, have pity, I'll be a surety.
Silence! One word more shall make me chide thee, if not hate thee. What? An advocate for an impostor? Thou thinkest there is no more such shapes as he, having seen but his Caliban. Foolish wench. To the most of men this is a Caliban, and they to him are angels.
My affections then are most humble. I've no ambition to see a goodlier man.
Come on, obey. Thy nerves are in their infancy again and have no vigor in them.
So they are. My spirits as in a dream are all bound up. My father's loss, the weakness which I feel, the wrack of all my friends, nor this man's threats, to whom I am subdued, are but light to me. Might I but through my prison once a day behold this maid, all corners else of the earth of liberty make use of. Space have I in such a prison.
It works. Come on. Line.
Thou hast done well.
Thou hast done well, fine Ariel. Follow me. Hark what thou else shalt do me.
Sir, be of comfort. My father is of a better nature than he appears by speech. This is unwanted, which now came from him.
Thou shalt be as free as mountain winds, but then exactly do all points of my command.
To the syllable.
Come on! Speak you not for him.
Music, yeah. Wait, she has to bring the bench on, honey, wait a minute. And then Evo starts, and then you guys go.
Beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause, so have we all of joy, for our escape is much beyond our loss. Our hint of woe is common. Every day some sailor's wife, the master some merchant, and the merchant have just our theme of woe. But for the miracle, I mean our preservation, few in millions can speak like us. Then wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Prithee, peace.
He receives comfort like cold porridge.
The visitor will not give him over so.
Look,
He's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by will strike.
Sir,
One, tell.
when every grief that's entertained is offered, comes to the entertainer.
A dolour.
Ah, dolour comes to him indeed. You have spoken truer than you purposed.
You've taken it wiselier than I meant you should.
Therefore, my lord.
Aye, what a spendthrift is he of his tongue.
Prithee, spare.
Well, I have done, but yet.
He will be talking.
Which of he or Adrian, for a good wager, first begins to crow?
The old cock.
The cockerel.
Done. The waiter.
A laughter.
A match.
Though this island seems to be deserted,
So tired.
uninhabitable and almost inaccessible,
Yet.
yet
He couldn't miss it.
it must needs be of subtle, tender, and delicate temperance.
Temperance was a delicate wench.
Aye, and as subtle as he most learnedly delivered.
The air breathes upon us here most sweetly.
As if it had lungs and rotten ones.
Or as 'twere perfumed by a fen.
Ah, here's everything advantageous to life.
True, save means to live.
that there's none or little.
How lush and lusty the grass looks. How green.
The ground indeed is tawny.
With an eye of green in it.
He misses not much.
No, he doth but mistake the truth totally.
But the rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit,
As many vouched rarities are.
that our garments being, as they were, drenched in the sea, hold notwithstanding their freshness and gloss, being rather new dyed than stained with salt water.
If but one of his pockets could speak, would it not say he lies?
Aye, or very falsely pocket uppers of port.
Sir, we were talking that our garments seem now as fresh as we first put them on Africa at the line.
Methinks our garments are now as fresh as when we put them on first in Africa at
At
the
the
marriage.
marriage of your daughter, Clarabelle, who is now the Queen of Tunis,
Your daughter Clarabelle to the king of Tunis.
to the King of Tunis, right?
Sebastian,
'Twas a sweet marriage, and we prosper well in our return.
Tunis was never graced before with such a paragon to their queen.
Not since Widow Dido's time.
Widow? A pox of them, how came that widow in? Widow Dido.
What if you said a widow Aeneas, too? Good Lord, how you take it!
Widow Dido, said you? You make me study of that. She was of Carthage, not of Tunis.
This Tunis, sir, was Carthage.
Carthage?
I assure you, Carthage.
Why, his word is more than the miraculous heart.
He hath raised the wall and houses too.
What impossible matter will he make easy next?
I think he will carry this island home in his pocket and sell it to his son for an apple.
I am sowing the kernels of it in the sea. Bring forth more islands.
Aye,
Why, in good time.
sir.
We were talking that our
Sir,
garments.
we were talking that our garments seem now as fresh as when we first put them on Africa. At the marriage of your daughter,
When we were at Tunis at the marriage of your daughter.
we're
who
to
is
the
now
marriage
queen.
of your daughter, who is now queen.
Antonio and the rarest.
And the rarest that e'er came there.
Bait! I beseech you, widow Dido!
Oh, Widow Dido? Aye, Widow Dido.
Is not, sir, my double as fresh as the first day I wore it. I mean, in a sword.
That sort was well fished for.
When I wore it at your daughter's marriage.
Ram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I had never married my daughter there, for coming thence, my son is lost. And in my rage, she too, who is so far from Italy removed, I never again shall see her. Oh, thou, mine heir of Naples and of Milan, which strange fish hath made his meal of thee?
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surges under him and ride upon their backs. He trod the water, whose enmity he flung aside, and breasted the surge most swollen that met him. His bold head above the contentious waves he kept, and oared himself with his good arms in lusty stroke to the shore, that o'er his wave-worn basis bowed, as stooping to relieve him. I not doubt he came alive to land.
No, he's gone.
Sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss. That would not bless our Europe with your daughter, but rather lose her to an African, where she at least is banished from your eye, who hath cause to lay grief on it.
Prithee, peace.
You were needled to an importuned otherwise by all of us, and the fair soul herself, weighed between loathness and obedience, at which end the beam should bow. We have lost your son! I fear forever. Milan and Naples will have more widows in them than this business is making than we bring men to comfort them. The fault's your own.
So is the dearest of the lost.
My lord Sebastian, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Very well.
And most true urgently.
It is foul weather in us all, good sir, when you are cloudy.
Foul weather.
Very foul.
Had I plantation of this isle,
He'd sow it with nettle seed.
Or ducks or mallows.
And were the king on it, what would I do?
Escape being drunk for want of wine.
In the Commonwealth, I would by contraries execute all things. For no kind of traffic would I admit, no name of magistrate. Letters should not be known. Line.
Riches.
Riches, poverty, and use of service, none. Contract, succession, born, bound of land, tilth, vineyard, none. No use of metal, corn, or wine, or oil. No occupation. All men idle, all. And women too, but innocent and pure. No sovereignty.
Yet he would be king on it.
The latter end of his commonwealth forgets the beginning.
All things in common nature should produce without sweat or endeavor. Treason, felony, sword, pike, knife, gun, or need of any engine would I not have, but nature should produce of its own kind all poison, all abundance to feed my innocent people.
No marrying among his subjects.
None men, all idle, whores and knaves.
It is with such perfection I would govern, sir, to excel the golden age.
Say his majesty!
Long live Gonzalo.
And do you mark me, sir?
Prithee, no more. Thou dost talk nothing to me.
I do well believe, your highness, and did so to minister occasion to these gentlemen, who are of such sensible and nimble lungs, who they always used to laugh at nothing.
'Twas you we laughed at.
Who, in this merry kind of fooling, am nothing to you. So you may continue and laugh at nothing still.
What a blow there was given.
Had not fallen flat long.
You are gentlemen of brave metal. You would lift the moon out of her sphere, she continue in 5 weeks without changing.
Who would so, and then go about fouling?
Nay, good my lord, be not angry.
No, I warrant you, I will not adventure my discretion so weakly. Will you laugh me asleep? For I am very heavy.
Go, sleep, and hear us.
What? All so soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would, with themselves, shut up my thoughts.
Please you.
They are inclined to do so.
Please you, sir. Do not omit the heavy offer that it seldom visits sorrow, or doth it as a comfort.
We too, my lord, will guard your person whilst you take your rest, and watch your safety.
Thank you. Wondrous.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
Is the quality of the climate.
Why doth it not then our eyelids sink? I find myself not disposed to sleep.
Nor I. My spirits are nimble. They fail together all as by consent. They dropped as by a thunderstroke. What might, worthy Sebastian? Oh, what might? No more, and yet, methinks I see it in thy face. What thou shouldst speak. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What? Art thou waking?
Do you not hear me speak?
I do, and surely it is a sleepy language. And what is it thou dost say? Line.
This is a strange.
This is a strange repose. To be asleep with eyes wide open, standing, speaking, moving, and yet so fast asleep.
Noble Sebastian, thou lett'st thy fortune sleep. Die rather, wakest while thou art waking.
Line.
Thou dost snore.
Thou dost snore distinctly. There is meaning in thy snores.
I am more serious than my custom. You must be so too if heed me, which to do so troubles thee over. But
I am standing water.
I'll teach you how to flow.
Do so to ebb, hereditary sloth instructs me.
Oh, if you but knew how the purpose you cherish whilst thus you mock it, how in stripping it you more invest it. Having men often do so near the bottom run by their own fear or sloth.
Prithee, say on. The setting of thine eye, and cheek proclaim matter from thee, and indeed a birth, which throws thee much to yield.
Thus, sir, although this lord of weak remembrance, who shall be of as little memory when he's earthed, hath here almost persuaded, for he's a spirit of persuasion, only professes to persuade, the king his sons alive. This is impossible that he's undrowned as he that sleeps here swims.
I have no hope that he's aground.
Oh, out of that hope, no hope, what great hope have you? No hope that way is another way so high a hope that even ambition cannot pierce a wink beyond, but doubt discovery there.
What stuff is this?
Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who is the next heir of Naples?
Clarabelle?
She that is queen of Tunis, she that dwells 10 leagues beyond a man's life. She who from Naples can have no note, lest the sun were post, the man of the moon's too slow, till newborn chins be rough and razorable. She that from whom we were all sea-swallowed, though some cast again, and by that destiny to perform an act whereof what's past is prologue, what to come in yours and my discharge.
What stuff is this? How say you? 'Tis true, my brother's daughter, queen of Tunis. So is she heir of Naples, twixt which regions there is some space.
A space whose every cubit seems to cry out, how shall that Clarabelle measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis, and let Sebastian wake. Say this were death that now had seized them. Why, they'd be no worse than now they are. Line.
There be that can rule Naples.
There be that can rule Naples, as well as he that sleeps. Lords that can prate as amply and unnecessarily as this Gonzalo. I myself could make a chuff of his deep chat. Oh, that you bore the mind that I do. What a sleep were this for your advancement? Do you understand me?
I think I do.
And how does that content tender your own good fortune?
I remember you did supplant your brother Prospero.
True. And look how well my garments sit upon me. Much feeder than before. My brother's servants were then my fellows, and now they are my men.
But for your conscience.
Aye, sir, where lies that? If 'twere a kye, 'twould put me to my slipper, but I feel not this deity in my bosom. 20 consciences stand twixt me and Naples. Candid be they, melt ere they molest. Here lies your brother, no better than the earth he lies upon. If he were that which now he's like, that's dead, whom I, with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lay to bed forever, whilst you, to the perpetual wink for an eye, might put this ancient morsel, this Sir Prudence, who should not upbraid our course. As for all the rest, they'll take suggestions as a cat laps milk. Line.
They'll tell the clock.
They'll tell the clock to any business we say befits the hour.
My case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou gost on, I'll come by Naples. Draw thy sword. One stroke shall free thee from that payest, and I, the king, shall love thee.
Draw together, and when I rear my hand, do you the like to fall it on Gonzalo.
Oh, but one word.
My master, whose art foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth, for else his project dies to keep them living. While you here do snoring lie, open-eyed conspiracy is time doth take. If of life you keep a care, shake off slumber and beware, awake, awake.
Then let us both be sudden.
Now, good angels, preserve the king!
Why, how now, ho, away! Why are you drunk? What for this ghastly looking?
What's the matter?
Whilst we stood here securing repose, even now we heard a hollow burst of bellowing, like bulls, or rather lions. Did it not wake you? It struck mine ears most terribly.
I heard nothing.
Oh, 'twas a din to fright a monster's ear. To make an earthquake surely was the roar of a whole herd of lions.
Heard you this, Gonzalo?
Upon my honor, sir, I heard a humming, and that a strange one too, which did awake me. I shook you, sir, and cried. When my eyes open, I see their weapons drawn. There was a noise, that's verily. 'Tis best we stand upon our guard that we quit this place. Let's draw our weapons.
Lead off this place and let's make further search for my poor son.
Heavens keep him from these beasts, for he is sure in the isle.
Lead away.
My master, Prospero, shall know what I have done. So, king, go safely on to seek thy son.
Music.
All the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats on prosper fall, and make him by inch meal a disease. His spirits hear me, and yet his needs I must curse. But they'll nor pinch me, fright me with urchin shows, nor pitch me in the mire, nor lead me like a firebrand in the dark, out of my way unless he bid them. But for every trifle they set upon me, sometimes like apes that mow and chatter at me, and after bite me, then like hedgehogs, which lie tumbling on my barefoot way, and mount their pricks at my footfall. Sometimes am I all wombed with adders, who with cloven tongues do hiss me into madness. Lo! Now lo! Here comes a spirit of his! Oh, to torment me for bringing my wood in slowly! I'll fall flat, perchance you will not mind me.
There's neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all. And another storm brewing. I hear it singing in the wind. Yon same black cloud, yon huge one, looks like a foul bomber that would shed his liquor. Fetch it thunder as it did before. I don't know where to hide my head. Yon same cloud did not choose but fall by balefuls. What have we here? A man or a fish? Dead or alive? A fish. He smells like a fish. A very ancient and fish-like smell. A kind of not in the newest Port John. A strange fish. Were I in England now, as once I was and had this fish but painted, not a holiday fool there would but give a piece of silver. There would this monster make a man. Any strange beast there makes a man. When they will not give a doit to relieve a lame beggar, they'll lay out 10 to see a dead Indian. Warm. Oh, my jaw. I do now let loose my opinion and hold it no longer. This is no fish, but an islander that hath lately suffered by a thunderbolt. Alas, the storm has come again. My best way is to creep under his gabardine. There is no other shelter hereabout. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. I will here shroud till the dregs of the storm be past.
I shall no more to sea, here shall I die ashore. This is a scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Well, here's my comfort. The bastard, the swab with the bosun and I, the gunner and his mate, loved Paul, Meg, and Mary, and Marjorie, but none of us cared for Kate, for she had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, go hang. She loved not the savour of tar nor of pitch, but a tailor may scratch her where'er she did itch. Then to sea boys and let her go hang. This is a scurvy tune too. But here's my comfort.
Do not torment me! Oh!
What's the matter? Are we devils here? Do you put tricks upon us with savages and men? Ah! Ah! I've not escaped drowning now to be afeard of your 4 legs. For it hath been said, as proper a man who ever went on 4 legs cannot make him give ground. It shall be said so again while Stefano breathes at nostrils.
The spirit torments me! Oh!
This is some monster of the isle with 4 legs, who hath got, as I take it, an ague. But where the devil should he learn our language? I'll give him some relief, if it be but for that. If I can recover him and keep him tame and get to Naples with him, he's a present for any emperor ever trod on neat's leather.
Do not torment me, prithee. I'll bring my ward home faster.
He's in his fit now and does not talk after the wisest. He shall taste of my bottle. Shall go near to remove his fit, you've never drunk wine afore. If I can recover him, keep him tame, I'll not take too much for him. He shall pay for him that hath him, and that soundly.
Thou dost me yet but little hurt. Thou wilt anon, I know it by thy trembling. Now prosper works upon thee.
Come on your ways. Open your mouth. Here is that which will give language to you, cat. Open your mouth. This will shake your shaking, I tell you, and that soundly. You cannot tell who's your friend. Open your chops again.
I should know that voice. It should be, but he is drowned and these are devils. Oh, defend me!
4 legs and 2 voices. A most delicate monster. His forward voice is to speak well of his friend, while his backward voice is to utter foul speeches and to detract. If all the wine in my bottle will recover him, I will help his ague. Come! Amen! I'll push him in thy other mouth.
Stefano?
Doth thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy, this is a devil and no monster. I'll leave him. I have no long spoon.
Stefano! If thou beest Stefano, touch me and speak to me, for I am Trinculo. Be not afeard, thy good friend Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I'll pull thee by the lesser legs. If any legs be Trinculos, these are they. Thou art very Trinculo indeed. How camest thou to be the siege of this mooncalf? Can you vent Trinculos?
I took him to be killed.
I took him to be killed by a thunderstroke. But art thou not drowned, Stefano? I hope thou art not drowned. Is the storm overblown? I hid me under the dead mooncalf's gabardine for fear of the storm. And art thou living, Stefano? Oh, Stefano, to me have fallen and escaped.
Really? Do not turn me about. My stomach is not constant.
These be fine things, and if they not be sprites, that's a brave god, and bears celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
How didst thou escape? How camest thou hither? Swear by this bottle how thou camest hither. I escaped upon a butt of sack, which the sailors heaved overboard. By this bottle, which I made with mine own hands from the bark of a tree since I was cast ashore.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor is not earthly.
Here, swear then how thou escapest.
Swam ashore, ma'am, like a duck. I can swim like a duck. I'll be sworn.
Here, kiss the book. Though thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose.
Stefano, is thou any more of this?
The whole buttman. My cell's in a rock by the seaside where my wine is hid. How now, mooncalf? How does thine ague?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon I do assure thee. I was the man in the moon when time was.
I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee. My mistress showed me thee, and thy dog, and thy bush.
Come, swear to that. Kiss the book.
By this good light, this is a most shallow monster. I have feared of him? A very weak monster. The man in the moon. A most poor, credulous monster. Well-drawn monster, in good sooth.
Lad, I'll show thee every fertile inch of the island, and I will kiss thy foot. I prithee, be my God.
By this light, a most perfidious and drunken monster. When his god's asleep, he'll rob his bottle.
I'll kiss thy foot. I'll swear myself thy subject.
Come on then, down and swear.
I shall laugh myself to death at this poppy-headed monster. A most scurvy monster. I could find it in my heart to beat him.
Come, kiss.
But Pat, the poor monster's in drink. An abominable monster.
Lang,
I'll show you the best spring.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll fish for thee and get thee wood enough. A plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks. Follow thee, thou wondrous man.
A most ridiculous monster to make a wonder of a poor drunkard.
I prithee, let me bring thee where crabs grow, and I, with my long nails, will dig thee pignuts, show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset. And sometimes I'll get the young scambles from the rock. Wilt thou go with me?
I prithee now, lead the way without any more talking. Trinculo, our company and else being drowned, we will inherit here. Here, bear my bottle. Fellow Trinculo will fill and by again.
Farewell, master, farewell, farewell.
A drunken monster!
No more dams I'll make for fish, nor fetching, firing, out requiring, nor skate, nor wash dish. Ben Caliban has a new master, get a new man. Freedom! High day! High day! Freedom! Freedom! High day! Freedom!
Oh, brave monster!
Alas, no, pray you. Work not so hard. I would the lightning had burnt up those logs that you were enjoying to pile. Pray, set it down and rest you. When this burns, 'twill weep for having wearied you. My father is hard at studying. Pray now, rest yourself. He is safe for these 3 hours.
Oh, most dear mistress, the sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you'll sit down, I'll bear your logs a while. Pray, give me that. I'll carry it to the pile.
No, precious creature, I'd rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonor go while I sit lazy by.
It would become me as it does you, and I should do it with much more ease. For my goodwill is to it, and yours it is against.
Poor worm. Thou art infected. This visitation shows it.
You look wearily.
No, noble mistress. Just rush mourning with me when you're by at night. I do beseech you chiefly that I might set it in my prayers. What is your name?
Miranda. Oh, my father broke your hest to say so.
Admired, Miranda. Indeed, the top of admiration, worth what's dearest to the world. Full many a lady have I eyed with best regard, and many a time the harmony of their tongues hath into bondage brought my too diligent ear. For several virtues I have like several women, but never any with so full soul, but some defect in her did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed, and put it to the foil. But you, oh, you are so perfect and so peerless, are created of every creature's best.
I do not know what of my sex. No woman's face remembers, save from my glass, mine own. Nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend, and my dear father. How features are abroad I'm skilless of. But by my modesty, the jewel in my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you. Nor can imagination form a shape beside yourself to like of. But I prattle something too wildly, my father's precepts I there do forget.
Line.
I am in my condition.
I am in my condition of Prince Miranda. I do think a king I would not so would no more endure this wooden slavery than to suffer the flesh fly below my mouth. Hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you, did my heart fly to your service, and there resides to make me slave to it. And for your sake, I am this patient logman.
Do you love me?
Oh, heaven, oh earth, bear witness to this. this sound, and crown what I profess in kind event if I speak true. If hollowly invert what best is voted me to mischief. I do, beyond all limit of what else in the world do love, prize, honor you.
I am a fool to weep at what I am glad of.
Fair encounter of two most rare affections. Heavens rain grace on that which breeds between them.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine unworthiness, that dare not offer what I desire to give, and much less take what I shall die to want. But this is trifling, and all the more it seeks to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows. Hence, bashful, cunning, and prompt, me plain and holy instance, I am your wife if you will marry me. If not, I'll die your maid. To be your fellow you may deny me, but I'll be your servant whether you will or no.
My mistress dearest, and I thus humble ever.
My husband then?
Aye, when the heart is willing as bondage ere freedom. Here's my hand.
And mine with my heart in it. And now farewell, till half an hour hence.
1,000,000.
So glad of this as they I cannot be, who are surprised withal. But my rejoicing at nothing can be more. But to my book, for ere at supper time I must perform much business appertaining.
Intermission. Okay.